President Donald Trump responded again on Saturday to the Department of Justice (DOJ) Inspector Generals report, saying it totally destroys James Comey. The report is centered around then FBI Director James Comey's handling of the investigation into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server and was released on Thursday. After its release, Trump claimed it exonerated him, although it's not clear what Trump perceives it to have exonerated him from since his actions were not within the scope of the review. The document, titled A Review of Various Actions by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Department of Justice in Advance of the 2016 election, is the culmination of an investigation started before Trump took office by IG Michael Horowitz, who was appointed by former President Barack Obama in 2012. Trump tweeted on Saturday, "The IG report totally destroys James Comey and all of his minions, including the great lovers, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, who started the disgraceful witch hunt against so many innocent people." dailymail.co.uk iNewPicks 2018 616 1944 F4 F6 800,578 5,851,895 Image of 32 1,529,172,280,617 JPG height equals 423 width equals 634 alt equals class equals book border img share copy link to paste in your message. Part of the report revealed that FBI agent Peter Strzok and colleague Lisa Page, who were linked romantically, exchanged text messages vowing to stop Trump from becoming president. Strzok was one of the lead investigators involved in the Clinton email case, and at one point had worked on the still ongoing Russia investigation before he was taken off that team. But the report was not focused in any way on the Russia probe. In summary, the report found that Comey wrongly deviated from established FBI norms in announcing the completion of the investigation of Clinton's email use without coordinating with the Attorney General, and also when he notified Congress in late October that the FBI had reopened the investigation. Trump claims report on FBI most biased I've seen in my life loaded 0% progress 0% 0 o'clock PREVIOUSPLAYSKIPLIVEMUTE 0 o'clock current time 0 o'clock duration time 1:11 full screen e-text video QUALITY 576p 540p 360p 274 ground white black green blue yellow magenta cyan opaque semi opaque background white black green blue yellow magenta cyan opaque semi transparent transparent window white black green blue yellow magenta cyan opaque semi transparent transparent font size 50% 75% 100% 125% 150% 175% 200% 300% 400% text edge style non-erase depreciation if drop shadow font family default monospace serif proportional serif monospace sans serif proportional sans serif casual script small caps default style minimus expand class FBI Director Christopher Wray, the person appointed by Trump to replace Comey after Trump fired him last year, said that this report did not find any evidence of political bias or improper considerations actually impacting the investigation under review at a press conference on Thursday. But the report does identify errors of judgment, violations of or disregard for policy, and decisions that, at the very least, in hindsight, were not the best choices, Wray added. Comey responded to the report's findings succinctly on Twitter on Thursday, writing, "I respect the DOJ IG office, which is why I urged them to do this review. The conclusions are reasonable, even though I disagree with some." People of good faith can see an unprecedented situation differently. dailymail.co.uk I Newpix 2018 616 19 4D 44 trillion 308 billion 900 million 578 5,851,895 Image of 41 1 trillion 529 billion 172 million 731,615 FBI's work with a microscope and found no evidence that bias or improper motivation affected the investigation, which I know was done competently, honestly, and independently. The report also resoundingly demonstrates that there was no prosecutable case against Mrs. Clinton, as we had concluded. Although that probably will not stop some from continuing to claim the opposite is true, this independent assessment will be useful to thoughtful people and an important contribution to the historical record. Second, this report is vital in shedding light for future leaders on the nature and quality of our investigation and the decisions we made. Ray highlighted how the FBI plans to move forward with new insight into a specific set of events back in 2016 and a small number of FBI employees connected with those events. We're going to make sure we have the policies, procedures, and training needed for everyone to understand and remember what's expected of us, Ray said. That includes drilling home the importance of objectivity and of avoiding even the appearance of personal conflicts or political bias in our work, ensuring that recusals are handled correctly and effectively and are clearly communicated to the appropriate people, making all employees fully aware of our new policy on contacts with the news media, which I issued last November, and making clear that we will not tolerate non-compliance, ensuring that we follow all DOJ policies about public statements on ongoing investigations and uncharged conduct, and ensuring that our employees adhere strictly to all policies and procedures on the use of FBI systems, networks, and devices. JPG height equals 357, width equals 634, alt equals. Soon after the report was released, Trump held an impromptu news conference on the White House lawn on Friday, speaking at length with journalists and especially Fox and Friends. Class equals book order img share copy link to paste in your message. Soon after the report was released, Trump held an impromptu news conference on the White House lawn on Friday, speaking at length with journalists and calling the report a total disaster for Comey, his minions, and sadly the FBI. Trump referred to Comey as a ringleader of this whole den of thieves in an interview with Fox and Friends on Friday. "I did nothing wrong. There was no collusion, there was no obstruction, and the IG report yesterday went a long way to show that," he said on Friday. "I think the Mueller investigation has been totally discredited." Share this article. Share the point made in the report related to the Russia investigation was that some FBI agents were found to have expressed private anti-Trump rhetoric, but that affirmative evidence showed decisions were made by Strzok based on his political leanings. However, Horowitz did note in the report that he did not have confidence that Strzok's prioritizing of the Russia-Trump campaign investigation over Clinton emails that resurfaced through a search of Anthony Weiner's computer was free from biases, and that Strzok and other FBI employees brought discredit to themselves and damaged the reputation of the FBI. Trump says he can get involved in Mueller Russia probe loaded. 0% progress. 0% 0 o'clock PREVIOUSPLAYSKIPLIVEMUTE 0 o'clock current time 0 o'clock duration time 1:09 full screen text video QUALITY 576p 540p 360p 274 ground white black or green blue yellow magenta cyan opaque semi-opaque background white black or green blue yellow magenta cyan opaque semi-transparent transparent window white black or green blue yellow magenta cyan opaque semi-transparent transparent font size 50% 75% 100% 125% 150% 175% 200% 300% 400% text edge style non-erased depreciation if earn drop shadow font family default monospace serif proportional serif monospace sans serif proportional sans serif casual script small caps default style minimize expand close